Oh my god! Thank you all. Thank you all. I'm so excited to be working with everyone. This is gonna be great. I've been so excited. Greetings and welcome to Nerdsmith's 9 Hells of a Good Time event. We started off 12 one-shot episodes featuring 12 DMs and 40 different players over the month of October. Say for today, we're September. I am CJ, also known as Crazy J. You can find me at the Twitter listed below, spelling it out because crazy spelled with a double E, on Scraticus Academy, on Super Early on Sundays, another stream, or around here somewhere, to quote Elle Woods. My pronouns are she, her. I am most passionate about a project that I'm working on, a mobile game I am attempting to develop, as well as other things I can't talk about just yet. And let's see here. I am a hoarder of dice, as in dragon hoarder level of dice, of the shiny meth click-clacks, and I make funny noises and funny faces. Around the night tonight, I have the following players. Let's see here. I'm going to start clockwise with who's playing Swift Shadow.
Hello, I am Natalie, also known as Dark Aardvark. She, her pronouns for myself and Swift Shadow. You can catch me on Tuesdays where I GM my own D&D Spelljammer one-shot on my Twitch channel. Swift Shadow's a Tabaxi Ranger of the Calico Tabaxi variety. And I'm really looking forward to diving into this first episode here.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much. Eclair. Did I get that right? Eclair?
Eclairé.
Eclairy.
Yeah. It's close enough. I'm Kyle. You can find me at Nerdsmith on any one of a number of projects. Shenanigans on Tuesday nights most of the time. Also online on our public Discord server, link below. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'll be playing Eclairy, the Tiefling Warlock. Is my first ever Warlock. I don't know how to do this. I hope my patron's driving. That's fine. Yeah, looking forward to a good time. He, him pronouns for myself and my character. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much. We have Karak.
That's me! I'm Karak! But I'm also Kyle. Kyle Prime, as it were. Much older, wiser, handsomer, because you have no idea what I look like underneath this, so I can play that up. And you can find me at Tavern Tales DM, where I host a weekly podcast, Dungeons & Dragons actual play. I'd like to hype and pump up the start of my Aberrant 2.0 community service game that'll be on the Onyx Paths official Twitch channel starting tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific. 5 players have 200 hours of community service that they have to go out and perform. And in the process of collecting some trash tomorrow, I think they might start developing some superpowers. So check it out with me and let's see what happens. It'll be a fun time.
Sounds like a great time. And last but certainly not least, Akari.
Hello, Critical Bard here, also known as CB, Critical Bard across all social media channels. I will be playing Akari, our favorite or not so favorite long death monk / grave cleric, who may or may not be evil. Who knows? I'm really excited to be here. He, him pronouns for me, he, him, or they for Akari. Actually had to leave a previous game to come here. So check out Role Players on Twitch and on Twitter. They're amazing. And yeah, can't wait to play some games.
Hey, I'm excited to play this too. We're going to see what goes on. So the reason for all this thing is we are celebrating the release of Wizards of the Coast module Baldur's Gate Descent in Avernus. And yes, I went out and got a copy. I had to. So fast. Support your local friendly game store. Tonight's episode is sponsored by World Anvil, the most robust campaign management software on the market. They're constantly coming out with new and exciting features and ways to support creativity in world building. Light the Forge with World Anvil. If you haven't tried them yet, go try them right away. We are also sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Yee, shiny mouth click-clacks. Purveyors of the finest polyhedrals in the multiverse. Yeah, want, but I'm not allowed them. Yeah. They come out with new sets all the time, each one as incredible as the last. And special for this, you can win a set of their brand new Brimstone set. Just enter the code #Crowley. That's Crowley, Crowley, now. And be sure to check them out at dieharddice.com and roll with the best. Also, special thanks to Will Crossweight for composing the intro song for us. It sounds amazing. You can find him on Twitter at CrossweightMusic. And tonight, I get the privilege of having the inaugural episode of the Epic One-Shot series. For the Nine Hells of a Good Time, you heard that intro in the beginning. See it in the video. A 12-part exploration of Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus supplement. We hope that you'll join us for all 12 adventures. You can catch all episodes on Twitch VOD or the Nerdsmith YouTube channel after they've aired. So what you're here for today is what is known as Good Omens. If you're not sure what that is, no, we are not based after the lovely novel or TV show that involves some of our favorite angel-devil pair. But that's not to say Good Omens itself doesn't have that. These people are getting special tickets to a very exclusive carnival known as the Cirque Arcana. They all got their own individual tickets, even though they all known and adventured with each other for a very long time before. Each one has earned their own ticket. Now, they may choose to share how they earned that ticket or not, but we're about to enter the Cirque Arcana. Let's begin. What's the first thing you all want to do?
I think we would have sent a message to one another that we should meet up outside the carnival to, rub elbows and perhaps have a funnel cake.
Oh, those sound delicious. Those are delicious.
Is there seeds in the funnel cake?
No seeds in the funnel cake. The funnel cake is just dough. Sorry. Alas. So if you all are meeting outside of the Cirque Arcana with your tickets in hand and ready to go in, before you is a large tent. The other side in it are a bunch of other tents too, and there's fencing around it. You are outside of Baldur's Gate at this point at the... One second. Pull up my map here. You were outside Baldur's Gate. You were by the Basilisk Gate, though. So by the outer city, kind of around that edge, if you know the area of Baldur's Gate. If not, I can bring up that map for people. That's kind of where you're looking at right now. You've come out Basilisk Gate, away you go. This large cavernous area set up, and it's vibrantly colored. You've not seen such colors in some places, except Karaka's looks, with vibrant jeweled greens, beautiful deep blues, and just crimson hues splashed all over the place. You are led to the door where that led to the gatekeeper at the front of the door line, and are asked for your tickets. Who goes first?
Akari probably, honestly, just walks right past the group and goes straight to the gatekeeper. And silently just reaches into a pouch or something on the side, and he hands.
The gatekeeper leans down. You're not quite sure who they are exactly. Behind a mask that covers their lower face and eyes that dance mischievously as they look at you and go, "Oh, thank you, Akari. Be welcomed."
I am not here for games. And he walks past if he can.
He is allowed in.
Wow. Okay. I thought he might even just say hi to us or recognize us or say something kind. Did he not recognize me? I wore the same cloak I always wore.
It is Akari being Akari.
I know. He's just always so gravely concerned.
That grave concern has kept us alive. Should we enter the carnival?
That is a good point. Yes, let's, Swift, let's!
After you.
I take that as a call. I flap suddenly into the sky with a loud crack and hurtle towards hurtle towards the guy with the ticket fully out front. I have a ticket this time!
before I go, I want to thank you for the donation of 666. And yes, I will probably be quoting Devil's Carnival as much as I can, but hey, here we go. 666. The gatekeeper looks to you, Croc, and just... Yes, thank you, Croc. You do have a ticket this time.
I do. It's
You're
nice to see you,
welcomed.
Phil. How's the wife?
Well,
That's good.
thank you for
Don't let any
asking.
arms fall off this time.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it happens in tricks and spells and shows.
Yeah, that's fair. You know that first guy that went in, Akari? He
Yes,
could totally help you out if you lose an arm tonight.
I shall keep that in mind.
See you
You're
in there.
welcomed. See you in there.
Hello, I'm presenting my ticket to you. Phil, I think Karak said.
Yes, Croc did say that. Thank you for the tickets, Swift Shadow. Be welcomed.
Thank you. I hope to have a lovely time.
Oh, we guarantee it.
Yeah, she walks in.
Philippe, hello. I have my ticket here. Could you please tell me which way to the midway? I wish to play some skee ball.
Once you enter, go forward about 5 steps and turn a right slight angle there, and you will see before you the path that leads to the midway. If you turn immediately upon entry, you'll instead be taken to the rides. Do be careful there. Thank you for the ticket, and be welcomed. Eclairé.
Bien sûr.
And you have officially entered the Cirque Arcana.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. All the stories I've told you all over the years, it's great. This is going to be awesome. Mm-hmm.
You've been before.
What? But I said so many times about this. Clara, this is my livelihood. I spent so many years here before I met the group and we traveled.
Yes, I'm remembering. This is right. Apologies. This has been a long week.
I understand.
I'd reach out with a big, long, feathery arm and give you a nice grip to the shoulder.
Do you have seats? The funnel cake didn't have seats.
No, but there should be peanuts inside, roasted peanuts, and there are seeds. I think.
Okay. Swift, let's play skee ball.
Yes, you have talked about the skee ball many times. I'm interested in trying it out.
The name is misleading. There are no skis on these balls.
That I would think would impede with the ball-like nature of a ball.
One would think.
So let us go find out why it is, well, at least me, find out why it is called the skee ball with no ski.
Where did Akari go?
It is what I am wondering.
Akari is actually probably about 30 feet ahead of you. And you see him, and knowing him, you know what he's doing right now. You see him with his eyes, well, his back's to you, but his head is low. And if anybody's in front, they see his eyes have gone completely black. Well, blacker than they are. And he is currently trying to detect any sort of undead within 60.
Oh, I know what he's doing. He's like 30 feet in front of us, and he's trying to, find dead things. That Akari!
Specifically using Eyes of the Grave.
Specifically using Eyes of the Grave.
A classic move.
All right, Akari, you do actually detect there are some undead people around within this area. that gives you exactly you can have numbers and exact locations, if I remember correctly.
So, Akari, are there dead things?
Yes, I know the exact location of where any undead is within 60 feet. However, specifically, I'm looking for a certain thing that we talked about.
Ah, yes. All right, then. In that case, you do note there are 4, at least in the area that you can see. 2 of them seem to be in the direction of the midway. 2 are down, worried about where the rides were, one a bit further along than the other. You suspect that down the rides line is the one that you're looking for. If you can focus in a little bit more on that one. In that case, I'll get you to please make me a wisdom check, though.
Gonna use my tombstone dice.
First dice roll of the night.
Ooh. Yeah, let's see what happens here.
It was almost a natural 20. It's not, but a straight wisdom is 19.
Oh, nice. Straight wisdom on that, then. I will that, though it doesn't tell you its creature's abilities or identity for it, on that roll, I'm going to say that, yep, you strongly suspect down the rides is where you're going to be directed to go.
I also with the thing, I don't know its identity anyway. That's not what I can figure out. But if you want to let me know, that's fine. I'll hire rolls. Anywho, he looks towards that direction and makes a mental note and turns back around and heads towards the group.
I flutter over and give Akari a big hug.
He immediately pushes you away.
Yeah. And then that's the hug, is that Karak tries to hug and Akari just straight arms Karak.
It is so nice to see you, friend.
You saw me already.
But face to face and with the verbal greetings.
That was not verbal. Just so you know.
Just now was. I said so nice to see. Yes.
So, what are we doing?
Skee ball. Have you played? Are you good?
He doesn't even give an answer to that.
No,
The
really,
skee
are
ball-
you good? I've been wondering for a long time now. At skee ball.
Skee ball was the plan, but it seems like you might be onto another track.
I have my own business here. However, I will help you as I need to.
You have
Go for
business
it.
here? Can we assist you in your business, Akari?
Would you like to die?
No,
Not today.
I mean,
Then no.
will you bring me back?
If my lord commands so, then possibly.
Then this sounds like a good deal. Ah!
For now, as I said, we do other things.
Skee ball!
Long sigh out of his mouth.
I replicate the sigh.
I wonder if these are the machines that give out the little tickets that you redeem for prizes. That would be wonderful.
And off you go to find a skee ball machine and see what else we have in the cirque down the midway where the games specifically are. Staring down the way, and you see along the way as you walk, other participants are kind of fantastical creatures. You can identify some fae that are in the crowd, some devils that are in the crowd, and some that you're not quite sure exactly what they are. You'd have to know a bit deeper, or really look into them to see. Flying around, though, you see little hollyphants seem to be running messages between the different game booths and carnies that are around in the cirque. As they go through, they flutter in, some kind of dip through you, and there's a little light stream that follows after it as it goes around. And one is actually a light delivering a message to the proprietor of the skee ball. Now, I should explain here, the games are set up slightly different, though they are brightly colored and lit and very interesting. They're a little twisted. Skee ball is, as for those of you who don't know out there, skee ball is the slightly roll up, with rolls around of rings that you have to try and get into holes with a nice, hard, generally wooden ball. Like, hard kind of ball. However, in this case, the balls are a clear, you suspect resin, and inside, suspended, are little skulls that, even as you roll them, they stay facing outwards. The roll rings themselves, within the things, have lit around them patterns, almost like fairy fire going, in different colors. And the ball you roll leaves a lit path on the wood ramp as it goes up. Who's
I'm gonna
play?
name this one Carmine.
Mystery Man headcanon accepted.
Deep cut.
Perhaps, Karak, you show us how it is done?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think Sure, yes, of course.
I'm about to say Karak. Akari watches Karak, and he's probably standing right behind him. And he kind of just like touches the back of his neck. And there's actually a black mark there that if anybody can see it, it is. He just casts guidance on you.
Oh, I totally accept your guidance of your grave father.
Dexterity. Athletics if you have it.
Sure.
And I know athletics is a strength one, but we're doing it with dexterity this time instead.
That's perfect. I have a 14 total.
Did you add the D4?
Oh, I did not. Thank you for that. Nice reminder. I'm going to Ferris Bueller this one. Just a 1, so 15 total for my skee ball check.
All right, you do pretty okay for skee ball. You don't quite get the high score that's on there, although
Just
you know
a
the high.
40.
Yeah, the high score is, it's up there. Now, the funny thing is it's magic that actually texts the scores, but it's real little plats that holds the high score up there. So numbers will come up and go up there for the magic, but that's actually changed manually by hand to track the high score. You don't get that high, unfortunately, but you do get a good fair amount. You get, let's see here. You earn 9 tickets.
I give one of the tickets to Carmine, the skee ball. I don't know how he takes it, and I put Carmine back.
It was probably Carmine. I could have done better if it hadn't been for Carmine. But...
The ticket just kind of hangs out in the little pool where the balls actually come and collect each time. Next. If anyone wants next.
Swift will go. What was the roll again?
It's athletics with dexterity.
Who's going? Sorry.
I think
Swift is.
A 10 total.
All right. You do get decent thing on there. You don't like fizzle out or anything like that, but unfortunately, it's you're probably lower than what Karak got, and you get total up. Three tickets.
She breaks one off and puts it with Karak's, assuming that tipping the skee balls is customary.
It's always good to give back.
The person running the game, is just kind of looking at you doing that. It's like, okay, new superstition, gotcha.
I will go next. That is a total of... no, it would be 16 with strength. It is 18.
Oh, that was a good shot, Clare.
It's one of my favorite games.
Congratulations, you now have a new high score. The proprietor of it comes over and just actually you see them take the slats off and put them on that matches the numbers that you got through the magic. Little fireworks are coming out of the holes in the game, like little fairy fire type bursts. And you earn 13 tickets.
Oh, how wonderful.
Your name is the highest, Eclair. They even got the accents right. How did they do that?
It is like they know.
It is magic
The person
It
is over.
is-
It is the Cirque.
with an accent.
Akari steps up. And you said these have skulls in them?
Yes. Each ski ball is clear with a little skull in it.
He grabs the ski ball and looks at it and goes, "You served the Reaper well." And he goes. And it's a roll plus athletics and dexterity? How are we doing? I'm lost.
Yeah, it's you roll with your athletics plus dexterity. So if you had so it's your dexterity, and if you have a what's the term I'm looking for? Proficiency in athletics, instead of adding your strength with the proficiency, you'd add dexterity with the proficiency.
So if I don't have proficiency, I'm just doing dex.
Yes.
Got it. $21. 22.
And just like that, Eclaire's high score is knocked off by Akari's.
Such is the whims of fate.
They're there. I sympathize with you.
I don't
A
know how
moment
this
in
game
the-
works.
And a moment in the sun is better than forever in the shadows.
Depends on the shadow.
This is true.
Well, I guess
And-
only the shadow knows.
And you earn a total of 15 tickets.
He hands the tickets to Eclair.
Oh, merci.
Oh, I give all my tickets to Eclair as well then.
I finally will be able to afford a jawbreaker.
This
It has
feels
been
like
so
old
long.
times where we just gave you all the treasure and then figured you'd be kind and dole it out equally.
You were foolish.
Oh. Huh.
If
You
you
were
need
selfish.
2 more for your jawbreaker, I'd be happy to part with my tickets. Otherwise, I think I will see what I can get.
I appreciate the offer. We will see. I have a feeling we are not done with these games.
More games? Are there other games? There is the one where you hit the mallet into the thing, but I am not very strong.
Didn't you used to work here?
Shh. Not at this side. I did other things.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Looking down the further of the midway, you do see that yes, there are more games. You do see the whack-a-mole that Karak is referring to, although it's not a mole that you whack. You're not quite sure what that animal is, but you're not close enough to look just yet. You do see another variant of one of those shooting galleries, but it's not a gun that you shoot, it's a wand that you have to point and direct. And also further down the line, you see a bottle toss and a ring toss.
The bottle toss into the rings is harder than the ring toss into the bottles. That's the
Yes.
only thing I know.
I suppose it would depend on the size of the ring, but sure.
Well, if you like it, then you'd better put a ring on it.
I have the feeling you are referencing things that I do not understand.
That's just the slogan it says under the ring toss.
Oh, yeah. Bien sûr.
While this is happening, Akari is, I think, the eyes of the group quite literally, as he has a passive perception of 25. So he
Mine's just 21.
is if anything seems off while they are playing games in Baldur's Gate.
So, off is relative. Now, this does seem like a carnival atmosphere, and with your passive perception, there is a lot of noise that is going on here. A lot of you can feel the magic in the air, even that's just around you with all this stuff. And as you're paying attention to the people around, there's some wisps that just kind of seem to move in. And by wisp, I mean people that were there, not there. They don't catch your eye of the grave kind of situation, but it's almost like someone was talking to the proprietor, and then suddenly they're just not there. They seem to be almost a shell with thing moving around that you've noticed. And whispers. All around you, whispers.
He takes a note, but he doesn't say anything. He just looks back at the group. Are we still playing your games? I believe this one is done.
Fair enough, we can move along.
Which game do you go to next, or do you choose to go elsewhere?
Akari just looks at Karak.
Karak just stares back at Akari, unblinking. And then does the exact same sigh that Akari did earlier.
Do you want
perhaps-
to play a game or no?
Do you want to play a game? I like games.
Looks at Eclair.
You had a suggestion? So Shadow.
I am here to enjoy, and I thought maybe Karak would show us his favorite parts, but I wouldn't mind trying to whack one of those tiny animals.
Yes, that is the funnest game. It is so much more fun than the skiing of balls.
Bless you.
My cloaca is just a little verklempt.
It must be a lot to be back to a place you've spent so much time.
Yes, yeah, it is not disgruntling at all. I am excited to be here with my friends.
Can I insight check Karak?
You totally can if Karak is willing to do this.
Sure. My passive deception is a 20, so there you go.
I wrote a
I would-
script.
Karak has been historically very vague about her time at the Cirque, and there was a problem here that definitely led to Karak leaving, and potentially the reason why Karak became a paladin after being a bard for so long. And it is quite likely that Karak wants to spend time playing games to not have to go into the big top itself.
Cool. Oh, yeah, it was a 26, just so you know.
Cool.
But he didn't say anything. He just and he starts heading off towards the waka, whatever animal or being it might be.
It used to be Abyssal Chickens. I don't know if it still is.
Sorry, in the wrong box there. As you get closer to it, your passive perception does pick up that it is not Abyssal Chickens. It is Whack-a-Imp.
Oh.
Imps are actually popping in and out of it. You see some that are there, and the proprietor looks down and goes, No. Inzuzel, your shift is not done yet. Get back in there. And you are using mallets with the imps. You bop them on the head, and they pop back down, as you can see. Who's all liking to play?
Yes.
Swift raises an eyebrow, and I think I should enjoy this game.
The person in charge of it goes, Well, you know, we have to employ what is given us as area. Baldur's Gate, we had these running around, and they seem to like working periodically. So here we are with them. Be careful, of course, don't hit too hard. We have to use them periodically and over again and whatnot, and their shifts aren't over yet.
I shall endeavor to not injure one.
Too bad.
Appreciate it. All right. And this is, again, a dexterity check with the hammer to hit. Or if you have an attack that you can use with a swinging type bashing, if you have a weapon that uses bashing already, you may use your strength as like athletics proficient.
I don't want to go first. I just want to tell you, Eclaire, that since you are gaining all the tickets, that you are fabulous. You are special, and I appreciate you more than anyone else could know. You are the special. You are so great.
And you have Bardic Inspiration. That is a D8.
Merci.
Swift steps up and takes the hammer and does a 23 for the check.
Ooh, nicely done. Fantastic job. Yeah, you pretty much get almost all of them. There's a few that you think maybe they cheated a little because it kind of just ducked up and ducked back down immediately without popping all the way up, but you can't tell. You're concentrating so hard on getting the rest of them. You earn a Y. 20 tickets.
Woohoo! I'll look to Karak and is it customary to tip these creatures as the ski balls?
I would think you would want to give an imp a ticket. Yeah, I wouldn't chimp out on it.
She tears off one of the tickets and drops it in a hole.
I keep putting it in a text box. You drop the ticket, and before it even gets to the area that it's level with it, the little hand pops up and pulls it down. Thank you!
You're welcome.
It was the plot of a children's book I read once. If you give an imp a ticket.
I am
I didn't
familiar
read that
with
one.
this story.
It's a
But
very
these
good
are
children's
working
book. These are working imps.
I will go. Okay. What was the check I needed to roll?
So it is a dexterity check as well, unless you already use a bashing weapon, in which case you can use your strength proficiency type 1.
That is a 13.
Unlike the ski ball, you don't do quite so well on this one. The imps then, upon you finishing your game, one pops out and drops back down. You get 9 tickets, though.
Ooh.
I'm watching you.
You and what army?
Fair point.
Akari, do you want to go next?
I do not need to do these type of games. If you want me to, I will, though.
I do want you to.
Another
Not
loud
about
sigh. He will step forward and attempt to dexterously get these imps. Hopefully that helps him. And it's just dex, correct?
Yeah, if you have just X as well, you can use that.
14.
You get the same result that Eclaire does, in that an imp pops out and makes a face at you with a little dance, and then pops back in. You also receive 9 tickets.
While they're giving Akari the tickets, Karak just dashes up and starts whacking them, and I get a total of 18.
Well, you do a very good job of it. High score of the group still goes to Swift Shadow, unfortunately. Well, or fortunately in the case of Swift Shadow for them. We have a follower. Congratulations and thank you. And the imps just kind of pop out to give a thumbs up. Hi! And then pop back out. They recognized you.
The sun. Beautiful.
You get 12 tickets.
I just give them to Clary.
All right. I hope someone's keeping track of
Merci.
how many you're earning.
I'm keeping track of my own.
I gave you 20 total.
I earned 15 the first one, and I just earned the same as Clary did this one. So how much was that?
9.
So I've given you 24.
I still have mine. I think it was 23 after I donated the 2.
Yeah, I live here at 23.
Well, it seems we are not all into the games equally, so perhaps we do something else. Karak, what did you used to do here?
Oh, I was an acrobat and a singer, performer, dancer, and lover.
There's a brothel in the Cirque.
What do you mean? I don't know this word.
You said a place where people sell their bodies to others for money.
I don't think that happens here.
You said you were a lover, so
Yes.
I thought maybe that was part of the job description.
Me and Ron.
Oh, you found love here.
That is what I said.
My apologies, I misunderstood.
God, that's okay. I go over and give Swift a big hug.
You actually get to the hug territory, but it's very uncomfortable as usual, and like the patting of the back. Like, I want this to be over, please.
These hugs, they always
Thank
end
you.
so much sooner than I expect them
Thank
to.
you. But I still thank you. Thank you.
Do you need a hug?
I just got one. Do you need a hug? I love hugs.
This is obvious. I was wondering if you need a hug. Because
We
you
just
keep-
hug.
Okay. Bring it in. Yep. Is that a new
Is it-
perfume?
Well, where to next, Akari?
He's kind of looking down for a second, noting the whispers and stuff. Is anyone actually wondering why we got these invitations?
I have been assuming it was because we are friends of Karak. Mine came back. Mine was at my doorstep when I came back from a hunt, so I saw Natu dropped it off.
Oh no, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I was shocked and surprised that you were all invited too. I just thought that Ron wanted to see me.
A love rekindling. Perhaps we seek out Ron.
I don't know. Maybe.
What's the worst that could happen?
God.
He could be dead, though. That is not necessarily the worst thing that could happen.
No, you can bring him back, right? Yeah.
Or he could remain a mindless slave to my god, and well, that would be good for me.
But. Ooh.
Mr. Brightside, as usual. Perhaps we worry about that bridge if we come to it.
It was only that one time that we bound that we thought we crossed.
I know. Yeah, that was not fun carrying you all over. Anyway, now maybe I kind of don't want to see Ron.
I will say it again. What is the worst that could happen? Perhaps he
don't
is
look
dead.
at
Perhaps
Akari
he is a
now.
mindless slave. Perhaps
Yeah.
you will rekindle an age-old romance, one for the ages.
Or he found someone new.
Is possible.
Okay. Well. Oh! I wonder if the old fortune teller is still here. She could at least tell me if Ron still loves me.
Then
Gathering,
show us
gathering
your way.
intel is good.
If you're looking for the fortune teller, then I will need a percept or an investigation. Just let me know which one you use.
Can I help?
You totally can. You know that they're looking for. You know that she's looking for a fortune teller.
He's going to help by like kind of sensing like the area for like no, I doubt the fortune teller's undead, but it's potentially like, skull things that they might have or bones for their stuff. Try to see if we can pinpoint while she.
Okay, I have a 32. I rolled a 12. I assume that when you were helping, you were offering guidance again, or was that?
That was advantage.
Oh, 31.
Right,
I only rolled
31.
a 1 on it.
You got 31?
21.
Oh, 21. All right. You do spot the fortune teller there, way down at the end of the line, kind of where the fence to this is, off to the side, which is unusual. Usually, she was someone front and center in the midway. Now her tent has been relegated to hiding in the corner in the back by where. Oh, that's a hive. What is a hive doing hanging up there? Ooh.
Oh, this is terrible. She's so far away. She's probably earning the least of business.
Perhaps we should donate our tickets.
Or we could just pay her in gold.
Is fair.
Let's go see her.
Lead their way.
Excuse me. I'm coming through. Excuse me. Pardon
On the
me.
way there, perhaps you tell us more about Ron. We can be on the lookout if we happen to see him.
Ron is the most handsome in a top hat and a red jacket with gold buttons, the brightest gold buttons. So many gold buttons. Oh, I could just poke at them all day. Oh, Ron. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me.
You go through the crowd, and they seem to get a little bit denser and then part as you go through, seeming to lead you on and actually help guide you to the tent until you're right in front of what appears to be a small 2-person little area, opened up, table on the inside, chair and chair. When you step in, though, the sides of it feel larger, so that if you wished, all of you could be welcomed and comfortable inside. But the chair where the fortune teller would sit is empty.
Oh. I wonder where she is. Hello? Hello? Ah!
Once you are all inside, should you all decide to enter, do you?
Yes, Swift goes in.
Alright, once you're all inside, the curtains that were behind you that led to the midway close, and it is silent inside. The noise of the rides and the games and the people just die out. Akari, you notice you don't even hear the whispers going on anymore that were going on, or notice the wisps that were in the crowd fading through. It's weird to say it, but this seems silent as the grave inside here. You realize this might be one of the people that ticked on your radar down the midway line, or at least this area had someone. In that, though, the fortune teller comes forward. She looks to you all and she kind of just stretches out an arm, and now she's wearing lavish clothing but short sleeved, and you can see that she actually has ball joints for her elbow and her wrist. If you catch a flash of the leg as she sits and adjusts her skirts, her ankle and her knees are the same.
So she's dead. Undead.
You're not sure.
Okay.
As she moves with the joints, imagine a posable doll situation. How they have the circles around the wrists? It's like that. So as you move and as she sits down and she motions to the chair, and who would like to go first?
I think our friend Karak would like to.
Oh no, Swift, you're usually the one first into danger.
This is danger. Very well then. And he sits down.
Thank you for the follow. Ah, yes. Hello. You're one of the woods. And with the creatures? What is
I
your
am, yeah.
question? What is your question?
Will I enjoy my time at the Cirque this evening?
Well, you'll have a good time. They guarantee it. So I want to make an insight check?
Yeah, I'll do that. $11.
That is the same line that the gatekeeper said when someone asked about having a good time here as well. Almost word for word.
That is the company line. I guess, was that not an appropriate question to ask a fortune teller? I've never done this before.
Oh no, you asked a fine question. You can ask any question you want. It's just a matter of what can be answered.
She reaches back. I'm assuming we are allowed to enter with our weapons and everything.
Yeah, you were not to leave anything at the door. You're fine.
Sure. She reaches back absentmindedly and kind of just puts a hand on her longbow of warning for a second to make sure it's still there. She's gotten used to it, so kind of lets her guard down more than she probably should because she's used to it. Well, I suppose. Will we run into? Will we be able to find Ron, Karak's friend?
Oh, we were asking about them. The big tent. They run the show there. Quite literally, in fact. But that is also not a fortune, so I imagine you actually wish to know more about Ron or fortune involved.
That is more Karok's question to ask, I suppose. Apologies, I have never had the opportunity to do such a thing before.
It's okay. Is there anything you're cursed about for yourself? Or any future endeavors?
I am curious as to who left the invitation for me.
Now that's a lovely question. I believe you've met some of the assistants they have here, and to be fair, that would be part of the thing. Let me see. Yes. Tickets go out to those that are called to action and to adventure. Those that find themselves particularly of note will receive one when it is their time to join the Cirque.
Then I believe my invitation was given in error. I did not wish to, as lovely as it is, I did not wish to join the Cirque.
Certainly.
Uneasy,
Did
she
she
kind
say
of gets up
certainly,
and
or did she say certainly?
No, she said certainly. Certainly would be great, though. She said certainly.
Swift is getting a little uncomfortable and kind of stands up and backs away from the table. And it seems safe to me, Karak. Perhaps your turn.
Hello, Ephigenia. How are you?
Karak, it's good to see you again.
It is wonderful to see you. You are quite out of the way now. What happened?
Sometimes things are said that they are not in agreement.
Oh. Well, I am glad you're in town, and I wish you well. I have my question for you for my fortune to tell.
Ask away. You know you always could.
Oh, all right. Payment. I will pay you. Here's some money first.
Nonsense.
All right. All right.
We've
Give
all
me
had
your
tickets. What is your question?
worst.
You have your tickets. It's part of the show, and you know that.
Um, by all means. So, what does the future say about tonight? Will we be blessed or cursed?
Oh, Croc, you have been gone for far too long sometimes, it seems. Be careful, be wise, be observant, for there are things that are pulling at the gates.
I understand. Something is pulling at the gates, and well, I feel like us four are just the type to keep those gates closed. We will do our best. Thank you,
I do hope
Ephigenia.
so.
How is your daughter?
Well, taking a rest in the city tonight. She enjoys when we come around this area. It's been a very long time.
Yes, it has. Clary, will you sit with Ephigenia now?
Yes, I will. This sounds like an interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Iclare sits, um, he's going to kind of close his eyes, and then as his eyes reopen, they have this kind of purplish green kind of glow to them. And he's activated his witch sight,
Oh.
which allows me to see the true form of any shape changer or creature concealed by illusion or transmutation, while it is within 30 feet of me and I have line of sight on it.
All right, all right. And I guess you're directing that to the fortune teller, Ephigen. So here's the fun part. She does appear to be what she is, which is to say that she's a doll. Literally, she is a doll. The movement is, you can see that there's some strings maybe around it that are hidden by wires through. But she is a doll, and as she moves, you just see the strings pull along like that. Though she moves fluidly and not as you would imagine a puppeted doll would. The space around that you are in isn't the illusion. You can feel that the space that was outside of it probably was, but you need to actually look at the tent now.
Iphigenia?
Ephigene. Or Ephigena. It's okay.
Ephigene.
Mm.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. What I would like to know.
You and yours.
Apologies, I spoke out of turn.
Oh, it's okay.
What I would like to know is, will we meet the architects behind the carnival, behind the cirque, this evening?
I mean, who's to say you've not already met any of them? But should you wish to, I would direct you in the same direction as I directed Karak to go see her former love. I know, it's to the tent. Now, not the same. Ron was, as much as Ron wishes, Ron is not an architect of the cirque. No mortal could be. You understand. At least, something inside of you understands. Isn't that true?
One could say.
Should you wish to meet such, walk carefully. Avoid the center trail. Go along a side, when you're inside, of course. And follow the dancing lights. They are low and they are small. Ignore the holophants. They are for those that are here for a short moment.
Do the
After
holophants
all.
all say holla?
They do not. Sorry, they're just all.
They smell like
That'd be
fresh
great.
baked bread.
Yeah. But you can just instead, so avoid the holophants. They're here for those that are here for a short time. You understand? After all, a good time is guaranteed.
You keep saying this. Why is a good time guaranteed? And to whom?
Also, I know it is no longer my turn, but what definition of good are we using?
Well, what definition of good do you believe in? Otherwise, yes, the term is used. Good on you to finally ask the right good on you to ask the right questions, though. I'll both of you for it. The definition of good is, of course, good and enjoyable. The for whom, however, that question can only be answered by speaking with the Adderweed.
Do. What?
The Adderweed. The inside the large tent in the ring, though you won't be allowed to get too close. We have to keep that for the performers. But do enjoy the show.
Okay.
Can I make some sort of religion, history, or arcana check? I am proficient in all of those.
I was gonna say you can make an arcana one.
Excellent.
I
I will make an arcana check in regards to the word adderweed. Ooh, a 21.
Adderweed was, so just for your general history of this, Adderweed was not one of the performers that was here before. So you're not actually sure who they are, but you suspect that arcana-wise, in the back of your head, something seems to whisper through here, and it's in Ephigene's voice that, and then you remember, Ephigene wasn't always a doll.
Well,
and
she was
connected
always
to
a
Adderweed.
doll.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
And you feel it. There's a connection to this Adderweed.
I tell everyone that in bird voice.
To the big tent we go?
Well, wait. If Adderweed's controlling Iphigenia, don't you think that we should do something about that? Rock!
Why
Is-
would we meddle in affairs that aren't ours?
Isn't that all we do?
For coin, generally, yes. But I also thought this Adderweed would be at the big tent.
Yes, let's go dispatch them. Free Iphigenia.
And as you turn away, though, Ephigenia just kind of looks at Akari. You know. Good.
What do I know? And that's me asking.
You may make an insight check.
I surely will.
Wait, I'm wondering, is the player making the insight check now, or?
I mean, this is going to be the character kind of thing because they're referencing something.
Yes. Obviously, and I'm like, the character is like, huh, and me is like, what? That is a 20.
Holy.
You think Ephigenia is referencing the instance from earlier where you were searching for someone specific.
He just raises a brow that you really can't see because it's not actually a brow. It's more like a raised, almost like a raised piece of stone, but not really, because he is completely made of like cracked granite. He is basically a tombstone walking. And he just raises that brow and let me say something else.
Au revoir. Have a good time. Enjoy the show.
Thanks, Evgenaya. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for seeking me out.
I get caught up in the tent flap as I leave, and it make a huge spectacle of myself leaving the tent.
Oh yeah, heads turn. They are noticing this.
Oh, it's caught on your crest up here. It's hold on.
Thank
One
you.
moment.
No, thank you.
Okay, you should be fine.
Just cut it free.
I would never.
I meant that flap, but I'm
Oh,
out.
of
I'm out.
course.
You got it.
It's
Sorry.
fine now.
Sorry.
I will keep
Someone
up my
else
witch
leave.
sight when I leave the tent.
If you turn back to look at the tent, there's definitely an illusion on it around. You can kind of see that the edging of it is that it's not that the tent is actually larger now on the outside that you can see the edges of it. It's that it looks like what is it? Something similar to the tiny hut spell, blended with a little bit of bag of holding. In that, when you go out, it's the same crowd around you as when you went in. Time maybe didn't stop necessarily inside there, but was different. Something was different in there to block it away.
Nature has a way of some things are eye-catching and attractive to their prey, and I think that is what the carnival is.
A tent flap caught me in like prey. Yep.
So, you're saying that we are walking into a trap?
I believe we are already in the trap, but
I thought it was a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
We walk into traps every day. It's how we get out of it. That shows who you are.
true. But it is always good to know when you are walking into a trap rather than have it spring on your leg.
This is true.
I have to be honest, it does not seem like it's going to matter one way or another.
It doesn't anymore to the big tent.
Is the person or the thing that I sensed, is it towards the Big Ten as well?
When you originally sensed it was towards the rides, but now it does seem to be moving towards the big tent. In fact, all but the one on the midway that you suspect is with the tent behind you are moving towards the big tent, as is the crowds. For those with a high enough passive perception, which I think most of you have over, well, those of you that have over 20 will see this part and then work from there. Those of you over 15 should see the next part, then over 20 get an extra bonus. So for over 15, uh-oh. Over 15 sees that, yep, the crowds are all moving to the tent as if they were called, and you can hear callers from the side, the carnival squawkers and whatnot going. The show is about to begin. The fantastic show. Come see the acrobats. Come see the animals. Come one, come all. Those of you a bit louder can actually hear the compelling behind it, though. Like, they're really drawing in that kind of manipulative of, you must see this, but you're not sure, but it's something in the words themselves that you must come see. You must see this show. And even the games are shutting down and encouraging people. The rides are saying, we will be operational afterwards. All around you, people are being told, go to the show. You're still a little ways off, but they're starting to be brought in.
I walk behind Akari.
He kind of looks back and just, well, no time like the present. And he walks forward towards the big top.
I strum a little bit on my mandolin, and I tell Akari as we head in, I'm like, "You are my cleric, the one party medic, belief in your domain. We all sing the refrain." And I grant you bardic inspiration, D8, for use when you're at your leisure. Ah!
And in response to that sound that Akari isn't sure if it's good or bad, he oh wait.
That's not distracting at all.
Yeah, not at all, not in the least. Love it though. Anyways.
No worries. You see him touch something that is, you can't tell if it's tied around his neck or literally like onto his skin, but there is a skull, a white skull, and he touches it and closes his eyes as he's walking. And like he has his staff of withering on his back, and you start to see like not four. You see three like strands of possibly like necrotic energy all shoot out from the staff and surround the three of you. I am casting aid at second level. Sorry, aid at third level. I don't know why I said that. So you all get a 10-point boost to your hit point maximum right now.
Wow.
And you'll have that for the next 8 hours. And as he does that, he goes, "I'll probably take that back at some point. I need it for my own reasons."
Oh, well, thank you, Akari. I feel so much more invigorated.
I hope to still have it to give if you should need it.
You're better than a cup of coffee.
Should we go into the main entrance, or should we sneak in on the side of the tent?
That sounds even better. Let's do that.
Why would we sneak? What are we trying to get away from?
The fortune teller, she says not to go down the center path. I'm thinking that it is better to think about these things in a more lateral fashion.
Yes, let's forge our own.
I whip out a stiletto and start waving it around.
Let's just cut the tent up.
I did not advocate that. It's fine fabric.
I put it away.
So you want to try to find another way?
I am thinking that just going in from one of the sides underneath or through a different entrance.
There is like the one where the performers center. Perhaps we can make our way in there.
Oh, a performer's entrance. I know that. I know where that is.
Okay.
For this
If
to
it's
be
still there.
successful,
I was gonna say, indeed, you still do, but go on.
Akari just looks at Karak and like looks like very like into Karak's eyes, and Akari's eyes are normally this like super like normal eyes, but the eyes are like super white. But you see them slowly start to cloud over, and he says, "For this to be successful, you must hone yourself and your voice. I highly doubt this is the proper way to enter. Yes?"
No. Wait, yes. How do I answer this question?
Say yes
Yes.
and don't screw up.
You know me. I don't screw things up. Not ever. Not even that one time where everybody thought that I'd screwed it up and everything was going to hell in a handbasket. Let's be honest. We had the handbasket and we were heading to hell. It smelled a lot like this. Anyway, I saved the day.
Bien sûr.
You
Could
can
I-
trust me, Kari.
Then if we are doing this, and you see him take his hand, and again, it's that cracked granite all over, and he gets squeezes tight, and instantly around the feet of all of us, well, not necessarily me, you can see it kind of grow more. You start to see, almost like, think like a movie when like you look in like a yard or like a graveyard specifically, and perhaps like a tombstone like slowly rises up very creepily. That happens around your feet and clinches. He is casting using his merge with stone, pass without a trace.
Cool. I send him a message and I say,
I got you, boo.
Just-
Aw. How cute. Alright, what do you do?
I believe we're stealthing our way to the employee entrance and through.
Roll your stealth.
You all have a +10 to stealth now.
37.
I have to tell you, it was cocked, and I promise it was almost a natural one. It's not. It was cocked. I was like, I have a 22.
So we have a
I don't-
37, 22.
I only rolled a 20, or I only rolled a 5, so it's a 24 total.
I got a 15. That's with the +10.
Oh, I was thinking so. Oh gosh. Let's see here.
It's fine. It's fine.
You make your way in through the performer's entrance into the big top, the large tent at the center. Back here, now you can imagine if you walked through the front, you'd be presented with quite the sight. But back here, you don't see the stage. You don't see the tiered seats. Back here, when you walk in, you see to your right costumes and curtains for people to quick change and just a variety of colors and feathers and sequins hanging there. And to your left is a large, long kind of black area that goes around part of the ring for people to go and be a part and get up and get to their points and their cues. And in front of you, though, is just a fabric wall so that people don't see performers coming in to it. And it's words escape me, sorry. It's rounded, though, so it's clearly a wall that leads to the inner circle as well for the ring. So off to the side, again, to the right is the costumes and a quick change. To the left is a hallway that is rounding off to the edge that you can't see any further for performers to go down towards the ring.
I just go and take a look at the costumes briefly, like I'm supposed to be there, and don't take a costume and turn back to the group.
This way.
Appelez-vous?
Yeah.
And we head to the left.
Yes,
All right.
Akari follows, yes.
As you go deeper into the actual performers area, now you see the props that are there, pieces of set, stacked and ready, and in an order for exactly of what the sequence of the show goes. Around you, you kind of get a few looks here and there, but no one seems to pay much attention to you. Seems like it's just like out of the corner of the eye and whatever, you are dismissed. Some of the performers look like what you would expect: acrobatics for the high rope walks and for the trapeze artists in sequins and whatnot, performers that ride on the different animals in their sequined costumes as well that fit in a way to keep it. And then you see some that kind of drip and ooze as they walk of different variety of colors and move through. They're like a painting as they move all themselves. There's imps that follow along the floors, and you even catch a red cap or two practicing weapon throwing as you make your way through the hall, specifically of the performers.
I would like to try to make a mental note of the sets and what order they are in.
You absolutely may. I'll get you to roll me a wisdom, please. Just for marking.
$15 total.
Okay. That's just for, I'll note it for if you ask later for anything to do with that. Okay. So you're following the steps, and Croc, where are you attempting to lead them all to?
Oh, I'm gonna take them right over to like where the big top boss man's office is.
All right. So you're walking for quite a while now. If you the performance entrance was kind of around and not quite the direct back from where the entrance was, you're off to the side. So as you're moving, and if here is the entrance and you came in here, you're actually going around to about here before you hit the boss man. So you're a third around the tent as well. So it's almost divided into threes for those entrances. That part of the tent now cuts a bubble out of it. So there's a door, a drape over it, and another little tent attached to it, which is known as the Ringmaster's quarters. Well, quarters.
Well, yeah, no, this isn't it at all. I'm completely turned around and lost. Wow, couldn't we see the show from here at all?
Akari would like to attempt to find a way towards where the show is, but just in like maybe like a side area, or maybe like a way to get to like the top, so it's not as obvious that they sneaked in.
Mm-hmm. So with your passive perception, what you're noticing around as you did walk to where Croc was leading you, between the props and the sets that were being set to go in, there were draped closures that are kind of just meant to like go in, go out. And they're meant to not be noticed for the performer coming in. So it's almost like a little slit in a tighter form of the fabric that you just can slip in, slip out, and it shuts pretty fast. So unlike a big fluttering kind of opening or even a door, it's just nope, quick open and quick someone cuts through for those kind of quick change moments. And beyond that, at one moment you can see there's a little ladder on the side to get up to the trapeze. You only notice one ladder, though. You would think the other one might be somewhere else.
To the trapeze, as in like to the actual thing for the performers to use, not like to get to like a higher part of like the seating.
No, that would be good to the higher part of the ceiling kind of thing. Yeah. So imagine you'd have like the ladder to get to the trapeze area, but you'd also have the part to get up to the higher one where they'd start from, and then they have another platforms further and the tightrope walk. So you would have the one that it's up there that performers start at, but it's also the catwalk.
Okay, then as Karak is kind of like careening and figuring out, they would feel just a tug at the back of them. It's like, wait, and point towards the area where the ladder is, and they'll silently walk off towards that area.
Yes, let's.
Off you go. Clare and Swift, do you follow?
Yes, I do.
I do not believe it would be a good idea to spread the party at the illusory carnival.
No, that's how we lost Jebediah, remember?
Rest in peace, Jebediah.
Huh, many pieces.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon. Up you go. There are some performers kind of waiting forward from where you are, but if you continue climbing up into the actual catwalks themselves, all you'll see is two people up there ready for cues. looks like some other people aren't in sets yet into position. So you have, once you're up, and I'm continue working on your stealth roll, so don't worry just yet. Once you're up there, though, you see there's a round path that goes around there, a smaller inner circle path, 4 connecting points for the 2 of them, and then in the middle, a single platform that's part of the large pole that actually holds the top of the tent up, alongside with the 2 smaller that are in between the circles.
Large outside, a one in the middle. I mean, one a little bit in between that. There are.
Yeah, so like 3
Also-
concentric rings that paths.
Got it. Now,
All right. I mean, Benny Hill music is great. It's just that this is so not Benny Hill moment.
Feels
Right.
really weird on this catwalk. I just keep strutting my stuff.
do those? Well, no. Okay, then yeah, Okay, then I guess he would start to walk towards, around the outer and possibly go in one circle ring again, probably just to see what's going down. But
So it's kind of like this. I know it's not a great drawing, but Logan. But go on. Sorry, Hikari. CB, it's you're saying.
no problem. No problem. Akari at least is going to walk around, not really paying any attention to the.
How heavy is Akari?
You are stone.
I just want you to know, Akari,
Uh,
I'm only the minimum strength of a paladin. I don't think I can carry you off of this place.
You do not need to carry me anywhere. He is.
Oh, no,
He's
Featherfall.
heavier than most.
That's a good answer.
He's about 6'1", and he's not like strong, but he's strong. So
I love it. He's strong.
Strong.
yeah, he's pretty heavy. Won't even lie to you.
Roar.
I mean, he is a monk, so
He is a monk. Yeah.
but yeah, he will go to that middle ring, and then one last time, but not really last time, he will close his eyes and do one last eyes of the grave to see exactly where people are.
Okay, so with that, the four that you noted, one is still outside the tent, but the 3 are all inside. They've moved to below you, which puts them in the center ring. If you
Cen-
look down,
Center
Sorry,
ring, the one I'm in is a center ring,
yeah, as in below you though, like on the
but
performance ring.
yeah, on the perimeter, yeah.
On the ground floor. Yeah, they're on the ground floor level of it. So you can feel the 3 there. They've taken up points of the triangle. The front entrance, the performer's entrance, and the ringmaster's entrance lines. The one you were looking for specifically, and you've marked that one from earlier, is the ringmaster's entrance. Directing in.
Wait, the 3 I feel are all at entrances right now.
No, that's so if you have the circle
I
of
think I
the
heard that
ring,
wrong.
right? Then you had the outer area that you walked through the hallway. So they're in the ring, but there's the entrance to come into the ring. There was the entrance that you came in for performer's entrance. about a third of the way in. And the other third is at the ringmaster, at where the ringmaster's entrance would be. So like just line up kind of thing. It's not directly at the entrance. No, they're in the ring, but facing those directions kind of thing. But they
And they're
are
almost
inside. They're almost right below you.
got it. Okay. He knows that and looks back at the group. Are you coming?
Yes, of
Testing. All right, sounds like we have it back.
Yay.
Yay! There it
Thank
is.
you, producer.
Woo, thank yous. All right. So as you were to have this conversation, the music started up. It's slightly different. Karak, you recognize the song as the entrance song for the Ringmaster, but something is not quite right with it. It's a little twisted, a little out of tune. And instead of Ron the Ringmaster coming forth as you would know it to be, out instead steps a young woman. Long, multi-hued hair. Garbed in a ringmaster's outfit, though it is with hot pants instead of regular full pants. And a nice frilled collar and a short vest. All the joints on her body are ball joints. But your witch's gaze does not detect a single string holding anything in place. She is exactly as she goes with it.
Do I know her?
You do not.
Oh.
I don't know her. She's new.
Is this the Atherweed, perhaps?
Did my insight check give me yeah?
You're so smart, Swift. It probably is. God damn it.
And she looks around at the audience. And Akari, you can note she actually is looking to the 3 spots where you noted the dead to be.
Is she dead? Did she get a ping?
She did not get a ping.
Okay.
Is she too far away for message?
No, she wouldn't be.
You suck. We want Ron.
She doesn't stop in her flow. She goes, "Good evening and welcome all to the Cirque Arcana. I am your ringmaster, Otterweed, and I present to you the incredible show brought to you by none other than our own. You will see fantastic the Painted Girls dance and cavort, perform for you. Up in the skies, the trapeze artists, Pox and Pilfer. Down below, we have demons for the orchestra. The Red Caps will demonstrate their skills. Be welcomed all, and remember, a good time is guaranteed."
I don't like this.
And at that, she also gestures up then, as if in response to your message. It's like, "And we welcome all visitors.
I don't like her. She's so creepy.
How did she know that we were here? I was as quiet as a mouse.
You're the quietest. Well,
So below you, the show does begin. And as she said, it starts with dancing girls performing as clowns, tricks and rolls and gestures and what have you. They're the creatures you saw in the back that had splatters on their body that were it flows like paint as you watch the show below. And what else do you do, though?
Akari is trying to see, or at least attune, quote unquote, onto where that pseudo Adderweed ringmaster might be. And during the show, at least, I don't know how long is going to pass, but he definitely will do one last Eyes of the Grave just to see where the undead were and where they're going, or like where they're gonna, if they're still in the same spots or not.
They are still in the same spot, so they're at. So if you're watching if you don't notice the show and whatnot, it's almost as like there is a ring that the performers will not leave. Although when I say leave, like the people that are riding the elephants or the animals or things like that will not go past. People that bring out the hell wasps will not go much further than this area. Though the ghosts are kind of almost like the barrier there, like they are the line. So some people do kind of get out to interact with the audience. The painted girls are some, but the ghosts almost seem like they are the whole. They mark the end and the edge of the ring. If you're looking for Adderweed themselves, I will need a perception check. Are you using just are you using your eyes or are you using a different sense?
Honestly, I mean, there's no other sense you could really use other than perhaps like the ground, like as he is literally Earth Genasi, try to like attune to the ground to see if you can feel like vibrations or things like that. But if anything,
I think that'd be hard to do with you up in the air.
so yeah, eyes.
Okay, yeah, just straight percept then.
Did you assist me, Karab?
yes. I'm like,
That's
look over
better.
here and look over here and look over there.
And you get 25.
Nice. All right. So what happens with that is you do notice Adderweed is just kind of on the side. She is one of the few that actually leave the ring and go through and just kind of through the crowd. But as you're watching, what you notice her doing is just kind of taps on a head here and there. And the people in the audience don't even notice her doing it. She just kind of seems to like do a light little tap, tap. You watch
Detect
long
magic.
What you see is the people that she taps, something has a little weird aura around them, and it's making a pattern. Now, the audience is in a half circle around. They fit between two of the ghosts, line to line. So they're about halfway to 2/3. The third ghost, the one at the ringmaster's entrance, is the one that is kind of across from them where they don't go to. So that's the third of the ring that is untouched.
This tapping being a, for lack of a better word, a servant of a certain person. Is this something like ritualistic? Is this something like based in like religion, or is this something more spell work?
This is more spell work. It is definitely ritualistic, though. You did call for. You would recognize that as the cleric kind of thing. And with the Karok's magic, detect magic, you do know that the people are getting something is attaching them now to Adderweed, the circus, or the cirque, like the tent, and kind of the area you're in. As in the post, the center.
How far off the ground are we? Sorry.
Trying to think here now then how far up a trapeze artist would be, because you're slightly above that. Oh gosh.
40 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet, because message can only be 30 feet.
Yeah.
Karak is going to pull out this little ceramic figurine. It is a seal pup, and Karak says,
Clubber can help us. Clubber, this is a magical seal of approval. You recognize Clubber, right? Anyway, Clubber can answer a question for me once per day. I will determine if, with the magics, if Adderweed should be stopped. And Clubber will give us a yes, which is an arf, or a no, which is a bork. And then I will give Clubber a little red bouncy ball, and everything will be fine. Okay.
and technically that the seal of approval gives me advantage on an insight check if I ask the question aloud. And since I did that, I will now roll my dice.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Oh, sorry, yes? Okay.
Sorry.
I could have gotten guidance on that, is what you're saying?
Well, I wasn't sure if I could affect that, because yes, that's where I was Well, actually, no, I can't, because spell password I was chest on.
Right. Okay, so I have rolled, and I just have to find my character sheet. I have a natural 15 on the die, and on insight, I am +6, so that's a 21.
Arf!
No, we gotta stop that bitch.
Do we need to do it this very second?
Yeah, now's a good time. Let's do it.
You see him reach into one of his pouches, and he pulls out something that looks like a scroll, but it almost looks like it's not paper. It could be, you don't really know. But he looks at it and like scrolls it out, rolls it out, and
Swipes along it.
in Abyssal, yes, in Abyssal, you'll hear him say the word "stop, magic, be gone." I am casting Dispel Magic.
Ooh. Alright, at what level?
Level 1? Or level hold a second, because it's going to be high. Level all of them.
Can I cast it at a higher level using the spell scroll?
What was your spell scroll set to?
3rd level. It's a 3rd level spell.
Okay, then you'll be casting it at a 3rd level.
Okay.
Okay. The spell magic goes out, and a ripple just kind of seems to flow down and flow through the tent, and the flaps oddly flap a little bit as you do so. Sorry, so there's a chat going at the level that makes the DM's plan go, oh noes. That's a great spell level. I'm going to make a note of that. Now, here's the funny thing, though. As you cast that, things and lights in the orchestra around the tent kind of dissipate a little as well. The audience is still inside, and there's still displays there, and you still have a ring. But the darkness that held away and the lights that were on the performers flicker, and now they seem to be old. Faded, not quite up to snuff. Like you see a light that was shining so bright before suddenly fits, and it's shorting out. But these are magic. And Adderweed looks up at you, and for someone who was having detect magic on, you can see that some of the people that she had been touching, the magic that was tying them in, is gone. Not all of them are affected, but you'd give about. She hadn't made her way all through the crowd, so a good third of the crowd that she had gone through, they're no longer affected by what she was doing. And then you have the other crowd that she hadn't gone into yet. But they don't seem to notice what's going on. Adderweed does.
And he looks. He doesn't. He's actually not trying to hide. He looks dead at her.
Oh, I know that look.
I see we have some people who wish to join the Cirque
No.
and be some of our performers.
No.
Come down. Why don't you? Let's see what act you have to show me. Roll initiative.
20 total.
Okay. 19.
7 total.
14.
Just to roll mine.
You have the. You say you have a longbow of warning.
Correct.
Don't you get advantage on initiative rolls if you haven't done it?
Thank you. I did not do that. I forgot about that.
The only reason I know, I just played a game the other day with somebody had a thing of warning, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah, wait a second.
You know, I chose that item and I was like, remember that you have it. I didn't. But thank you very much. It was worse. It was a 6.
Oh no!
Oh no!
But at least I had the shot.
That's true. You had the chance. And for someone in the chat that also did notice the reference, why yes, I do also have fairy fire blending in with Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. If you don't know what that one is, I highly recommend finding it. It is such a good book. It's Lisa Frank D&D and I love it. What? It's true.
Excellent.
The artists are fantastic, the characters are great, and it's just such a beautiful thing. I love their corgipede.
A what?
A corgipede. I'll show you after.
Do I want to see it?
Yes. Yes, you do. Okay. Gonna mark these here, and away we go. So, the top of initiative order will be Karak, followed by Akari, Aklare, Adderweed, 2 unknowns, and Swift. Just so everyone is aware up there in case something does mess up and I forgot. Okay. So with that, Karak, you get to go first.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm an Aarakocra on the trapeze stand, so it seems like it's the perfect idea that Karak would flare abruptly, leap into the air, and then plummet, and while doing so, draw forth this hilt of an old-fashioned rapier that suddenly ignites with a sun sword brilliance as she falls towards Adderweed and then strikes twice with the sun sword, getting a 20 on the first strike, just a 20, and then a 26 on the second strike, and then rakes down the chest with her talons as she flares backwards with her brilliant wings lit up by the exuberant color of this radiant sword.
You hit both times.
So the talons only do 2 points of raking damage. She uses 2 smites, and that is a total of 37 damage. Unless she takes any additional damage from radiant weapons, and then of course I would roll more dice. But as it stands, that's what it is.
So your claws were slashing. What about the other one?
It's radiant damage.
It's radiant, so it's magic. Okay.
Yep.
She doesn't quite take all of it, but she does take some. Okay. That puts us at... Oh, got my sheet in front of me here. Akari, it is your turn.
Question: how far below are they, like in feet wise?
From where you are, they're about 30 feet because the trapeze arch is at 25 for the platform starts.
Is there something I can use to get down, or is it like I need to just jump?
I mean, you could just jump. You could take the ladder down. It will take you a turn of movement.
I wasn't sure.
But
I was like, you said I would pull something. I wasn't sure if there was a thing to like. He could,
yeah,
like,
you can take a rope down. You could grab one of the ropes that are kind of securing the platform in a way. You could cut that and take that down. Slide. Or you could take the ladder, or you could just jump down and hope you hit the net. Wait, is there a net? Oh gosh, there's not a net.
I'm not really worried about that. I'm more so trying to see if I need to use my reaction. Well, using the rope to get down, would that count as an action? Or is that movement?
That's your movement.
I'm going to attempt to use that rope as a monk to kind of catch it and swing downward.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check. But you're a monk, so I'm kind of not that worried. Hopefully you're not either.
24.
You're fine.
Sorry.
I was going to say, you do come out to the other side, though, so if you're kind of below and two, you're onto the side away from... Like, you'd have to close a bit with the actual movement, but you are aside of the ring, kind of not across from her, but directional, because the ropes would come down.
So how much movement did I use to get down? I'd use 30 feet?
I'd say you use about 25 to 30.
Okay, and how far away are they from me?
She's about 20 feet from you at this point.
That's fine. I have enough speed.
There you go.
Then he almost stands his ground and kind of centers himself and rushes forward. And as he does that, he spins his staff of withering around and pops her. And first one is a 28 to hit. Second one is a 19 to hit.
They both hit.
On the first one, I am using my first charge of the Staff of Withering to do an extra 2d10 necrotic damage. So that will be in total... Gross. Nice. That is 14 No. 4 bludgeoning, I believe. Am I missing anything to add to that? I don't think so. I haven't monked in a while. My apologies.
Sorry.
No, yeah, I don't add anything to that. So that's 4 points of bludgeoning for the first one, along with 15 points of necrotic, and then the second one will be. Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. The second one will be 6 points of bludgeoning to that, and they're all magical.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
No problem. And then, as a bonus action, he spins that weapon down, and is that? Actually, on the second one, I'm gonna spend the key point to stunning strike.
All right.
And my DC is... Where are you? My DC is 18.
All right. You said it's a con?
Yes.
Okay. She does not make it. What happens?
She is stunned to the end of my next round, next turn.
Okay.
And I will then use a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon. And what you see is literally from the ground just erupt a huge tombstone, like a spectral tombstone that hovers right above her and just smashes on the ground. And because she's stunned, I believe that's at advantage?
That's an advantage.
That is a 26 to hit, so that will be 11 points of force damage. And that is my turn.
Okay, nicely done. Eclair, you go. Eclair.
Also, Patrick is gone. I mean, Patrick Trace is gone.
Pardon? Pass la trace, okay.
That changed what I want to do. Oh, man. Oh.
Wait, don't you just want to smack somebody?
Well, there's something. I don't know if it'll work. Okay, so we're about 30 feet off the ground, and she's about 20 feet beyond that.
Yeah, well, depends on where you go down, but yeah.
Okay. Can I make it to the ground and still have movement? I have 30 feet walking speed. I don't have any other bonuses. I just want to see if I can get to her this round. Whatever it takes.
It does depend on how you go down. The rope, again, if you go with Akari, you are about 20 feet away, though, and that would be taking of movement. The ladder would be the full 30. Or you could drop to the non-existent net if you have a way, or if you have a way of surviving a fall of 30 feet, and that wouldn't be your movement.
I have a way of falling 30 feet. It's called jumping. Might as well try it.
Might as well try it. Someone's saying it's
a
only 3d6.
Shot. It's a one shot. It's fine.
We're practically gods.
Eclair is going to jump.
Oh, I hope the cream filling inside Eclair doesn't come out.
All right.
It is a custom.
Unless you're gonna do something. Unless you're doing something else to negate any part of it.
I'm gonna try to roll. Like try to acrobatics.
You can try an acrobatics.
It's a circus.
It's a circus. Try an acrobatics.
Okay. Nope.
All right.
I would like to use that bardic inspiration if it's still active. Is it still active?
It has not been an hour since you entered the circus, so I think it still is if you haven't used it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Not much better. That's a 9.
No, I'm sorry. You take 8 fall damage.
Okay.
There's your pain for your squishy, unfortunately. But you are down on the ground, and you did not have to use your movement. So now you have 30 movement.
So she's stunned, right?
She's stunned.
All right.
She's
then...
staggering around, holding her head, wondering what hit. How dare they?
Oh no. Are you all right? And I put my hand on her forehead and create thrall. I can use my action to touch an incapacitated humanoid. It is then charmed by you, and you can telepathically communicate it with it on the same plane until a remove curse spell is cast on it. Or the charm condition is removed for it, unless she can't be charmed.
Oh, let's see here. All things considered about her, charm is actually not one of her immunities.
Yes.
You have charmed Adderweed.
Okay. Well then. Please stand down. We wish to end this as peacefully as possible. If possible.
Where is Ron?
Except for that one.
It is Adderweed's turn, and as she's charmed, she does nothing to respond to what you've done. Therefore, the stand down action. However, after Adderweed comes out the painted girls. 4 of them. One comes sliding and heads up to where Swift still is. And they move in. Now, they don't fully close in, because they do only have a bit of movement as well, but they do close in to start with. And they go, and they throw what looks like a ball of paint at you. But it lands at your feet. Instead, an object crops up in front of you. You're not sure what it is. You can't quite see what it is there. But 3 of them have just kind of appeared. One around Adderweed, one towards the rope, and one in the area of Karak.
It's just a base coat.
And all 4 of them, as one, speak and go, "Leave us be."
Is this thing on? Yeah, okay. No.
Swift, it is your turn.
Let's get Swifty.
Get Swifty. For my action, I will do Hunter Sense on.
Lost your audio.
Sorry, what's going
I
on?
chose a bad hotkey because it makes the thing scroll.
Oh.
As an action, I get to know all of their weaknesses, and damage,
using-
immunities, vulnerabilities.
And using it on the Splatter Beast?
On Adderweed.
Adderweed. Alright. Damage immunities is poison. Resistances, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons. Conditional immunities, blinded, deafened, exhaustion, paralyzed, or poisoned. There are no weaknesses.
I can't write all those down fast enough.
Adderweed's like, damn. Yeah.
So pretty much any non-magical damage. Was that correct?
Pretty much. So it's a good thing you have been hitting with magical stuff.
And what was the immunity? Was to poison.
Damage immunity is poison. And then conditional immunities are blinded, deafened, exhaustion, paralyzed, and poisoned, which is why it was nice that the charmed came in.
Really quickly, I'm sorry, I just read something. Because of stun, they already are suffering, but I need to quickly make a DC 15 con save.
What goes on?
If they failed, they're already struggling with dex and strength saves, but they failed.
Sorry, you cut out there. They struggle with what?
Sorry, they already struggle with the strength and dex saves. They fail automatically. But if they failed this with the Staff of Withering, they have disadvantage on con checks for the next hours.
Okay, thanks for being a heads up. Okay, Swift. What do you do from there?
That was the action that I used, so I am going to they're coming up to join me anyway, so I'll say so much for the boat practice, and I will jump down as well. And also try to do like a acrobatics, like tuck and roll when I hit the ground.
All right, give it a try.
$17.
So for that, I dropped a d6 from the roll, but you still somehow got worse than Akare. You got 11.
That's right. Kind of that was the temporary that Akari won't be able to take back from me. Apologies.
And there you go. I'm back to the top of the turn order. Karak.
Okay, Karak will pull out her instrument of the bards, her Knaith mandolin, and will strum a mighty chord and do some sort of massive performance to put the crowd at ease, which is also a masquerade of Where have all the good Rons gone? And that's what I will do. My performance check was a roll of 16, and my skill at performance is plus 15, so that is a 31 on a performance check.
Well, you have certainly, the crowd is at ease, and they're still kind of seemingly under the thrall of the carnival, so it helps put them at ease. They don't even notice the fight that's going on in front of them.
Oh,
They're just
good.
applauding and cheering as if it was all part of the act.
Good. I'm like, find out where Ron is!
That brings us to Akari.
Nothing's going to happen mechanically with the spiritual weapon, but people will see that tombstone slowly starting to rise back up as if it's going to slam down again. But then you just see him pop with that staff again. And both are at advantage. So first attack. If only I crit it with a 19. Oh, if only. That. So that was 27 to hit. Second attack is a crit.
Oh, nice. So that is, for me, a double dice is what you roll.
Okay, and to note, I'm not using a shield, so I should have been doing this two-handed. So I'm not gonna worry about the first one, but from here on out, I am a two-handed user.
You're using the versatile. Gotcha.
Yes, for the first one, and you only double the damage, double the roll of the weapon damage.
Yes. Yeah, you double. Okay. You can roll double dice. So actually, you can roll, like if you roll a 1d6, you can roll 2d6 for this.
Okay, but if I were to use my staff of withering power, I would not double those dice.
No.
Got it.
Just the weapon dice.
That's fine. First attack though.
I mean, it's probably still going to be like huge.
First attack is 10. Second attack will also add to staff of withering. Is I'm so sorry. 17 points of bludgeoning damage, 18 points of necrotic damage. Hashtag Fury of Blows.
Monks, I tell you, right? Monks.
14 actually probably won't hit. Second one is a 25.
25 will hit.
Okay. So that will be an extra 6 points of magical bludgeoning damage. And that was action. That was bonus action. He's gonna stay there. That's his turn.
Fantastic. Sorry, what was that last bit of damage?
Say that again.
What was that last bit of damage?
6 points of extra bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Gosh. Adderweed is certainly not looking too well for wear right now, and is well, the only thing keeping her standing is the charmed to stand down in a way. Which puts us at Eclaire. It is your turn.
The painted ladies are. You said there's 3 of them. Are they 4 of them? Sorry. Are they any 2 of them within adjacent to one another, or within like how close are they to one another?
So they did come out almost like corners to the situation of where it is, almost as a surrounding action. So close. How close do you need?
Well, I was going to do a couple. I had a couple of different options based off of how close they are to each other. 10 feet, if they were.
None are within 10 feet of one another.
Okay.
Sorry.
quite all right. I will go ahead and point at one of them, and we'll say, "Oh, it doesn't require a verbal component." Then I don't do anything. I just go and cast Mind Spike. So I need a Wisdom save.
Okay. Now, does that require concentration, and does what you're doing to Adderweed require concentration?
The thing I'm doing to Adderweed does not, but this one does.
All right. The one you pointed at gets a 19.
DC 20. So I'm gonna roll 3d8. That's 4. 8, it's 12, and 3 is 15 points of psychic damage. For as long as the spell lasts, I know where it is, as long as it remains on this plane of existence. And it can't become hidden from me.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. Gotta love the spells. Oh, come now. How terrible would I be to do that to you now? I'm watching the chat.
Do what? I'm not.
No, that's not now. That's like in
I'm not paying
10 minutes
attention.
from now thing.
Oh, yeah. Just a reminder also for players one, we have approximately an hour, so if anything goes wonky, we'll talk that out. But otherwise, here we go. And it is the Splatterbeast's turn, though. So the one that you hit the Mind Spike in just kind of shudders a little, as you can see, and she moves forward as well. In fact, all 4 do and close in as a surround. Croc, are you in the air or are you on the ground?
Definitely in the air.
Okay. Then in that case, then, and you are how high up in the air from it?
Yes.
How high up in the air are you?
I didn't do anything with my last round. I'm gonna say I'm back up to like 25 feet in the air.
Okay. So you're out of this, but as it closes and the items that are around it are there, suddenly it seems they all reach down, even the one that was by and threw one at Croc, and reach down to the paint that was there and pull. One pulls out a bow and arrow. One pulls out a staff that looks similar to the withering staff, but not quite. One pulls out a dagger. And the other just pulls out a sword. They all seem to pull out weapons that look similar to what you have on you. Sort of.
Obviously,
Yeah.
a cheap knockoff bow.
Yes, it is not quite the same bow. You can notice that they are rudimentary. They are not quite what you have. Your bow is better, hands down.
Party City.
Sorry, I just noticed the Dracolich and Lisa Frank colors. Next time, maybe. We'll see. I'm sorry, I shouldn't look at chat. You're lucky I have this all planned out already. Stop giving bad ideas to the DM. Or good ideas to DM. Okay. And they all swing. Let's see here. First one will swing for the someone who's done the most damage to their lead.
Totally Swift, duh. Like,
I doubt
think
a
Eclair
13.
bled on it a little bit.
I doubt a 13 will hit, but would a 23?
I guess, yeah.
All right. That is. So I should just use dice, but I like my roller too. That is 11 points of damage, and you must make a strength saving throw.
That's an 8.
You will drop one item of the Splatterbeast's choosing, and it chooses your staff. What happens is it hits you, the paint grabs, and it just whips it out. And the staff drops to the space between the two of you.
No problem. That's fine. They can die too.
Splatter Beast opposite and around Clare has 2 daggers in its hand now and lashes out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would a 12 or a 15 hit?
The 12 does not, the 15 does.
Okay. You also take 11 points of damage and must make a strength saving throw.
Okie doke.
Sorry, that one's 14. I forgot to add the +3 on that one.
So 14 damage.
So 14 damage, yeah. And strength saving throw.
I got a 12 total.
You do not make it. What item do you have on you? What items do you have on you? Handy.
I've got the crossbow. I've got a dagger. I've got this is just stuff in my hand.
This is just stuff that you were like, yeah, in your hand or in seeable kind of stuff. Stuff in your bags don't count.
Okay. I
Just something you can
have
drop.
a rod hanging on my belt. I've got a cloak clapped around my neck. I've got a backpack. I've got some crossbows. I've got a dagger. A single crossbow. I have bolts, multiple bolts.
Yeah.
I've got a spice pouch.
Ooh. It makes you drop the crossbow.
Okay.
And that's on the ground as well as the paint lashes out and pulls it in. It cannot. The one with the bow and the arrow, where it looked like it was aiming at Swift, and also just seemed to turn its head towards the one that's under Karak, and they both shift position. One turns towards Swift, and the one with the bow and arrow turns toward Karak. They originally were facing off, and they just did this. So it's like facing this, and also just in unison switched partners. Oh yeah. For everyone that's wondering, by the way, we are doing something different with the Slaughter Beast, but we're not changing base stats or anything. The fight is as it is with them. Just some mental hive-mindy stuff, it seems. For Karak, we have a 19 and a 10.
Neither of those hit.
Ooh, so 2 painted arrows go by you. And towards Swift, there's a 6 and a 17.
17 will hit.
Okay. I will let you know you are going to need to make a DC strength saving throw.
What was the DC? Sorry, that cut out.
It's an 8. You will need to make a DC to a 18 strength saving throw.
I'm going to go ahead and fail that. I'm not even going to do the math because I rolled a 2.
You take 12 damage from the attack. And your bow is pulled and dropped down into the paint splatter. And that's the Splatter Beasts. And we're at Swift's turn.
So for my bonus action, I'm going to cast a spell. Ensnaring Strike at 2nd level.
Ooh.
And I will go after the Splatter Beast nearest.
The one nearest you?
Correct.
Okay. What does Ensnaring Strike do once more? Sorry?
The next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a writhing mass of thorny vines appears at the point of impact, and the target must succeed a strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends. And they will also take, since it was 2nd level, they'll take 2d6 damage at the start of its turn.
Wonderful. All right. Go ahead and
That
go
is,
for
of
hit.
course, assuming I hit, and I hope I do with a 26.
You hit. You can add your extra damage. It is ensnared.
That happens on their turns.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And I do 9 for my sword slash.
Okay. Okay. Back to the top of turn order, we have Karak.
So I just want to set the picture. The Karak is flying in the middle of the air with the Knaith mandolin out with the sun sword. The bottom of the sun sword is shaped like a pick where she picks the song. She slings the Knaith mandolin, finishing her 6-second performance, and seeing the painted lady with the bow striking at her, dives swiftly towards her with a and lashes out with the talons. They miss. The sun sword itself exuberantly blossoms with painted ferocity as she slashes twice. I'm assuming hitting both times because I have a 27 and a 32 to hit. No, sorry, 27 and a 22 to hit. And that with the smites does a total of 66 points of damage.
That painted lady is down and just it spreads on the ground and it's just a little painted mess as it oozes out. But little figures pop out of it. Small little forms.
A little painted mess.
A little painted mess.
I just land and peck at it with my beak.
You can. They are
No. It's not my turn anymore. We're
yeah,
moving
no,
on.
it's not. You can do that. There's you're landed. We move on to Akari.
Akari notices that that their staff got dragged down. I'm never going to be used to this. And the head slowly looks back over at the Adderweed. And in common, they say, "You think I need that thing?" And steps closer and grabs their skull. And Abyssal says, "I need only Merkur. I am going to cast Inflict Wounds at 4th level."
Ooh. Ooh.
That is an 18. Nope, that's a whole lie. That is. That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, you hit.
Almost roll some d12s. Oops. Okay. So that will be what is that? 10, 20, 21, 30, 31, 35 points of necrotic damage. At the same time, you see him just scoop back a little bit, not enough to disengage, but scoop back a little bit as that spiritual weapon comes right back down on her for that's 19 damage. I mean 19 to hit. So that's an extra 10 points of force damage.
And with that, the puppet's strings have been cut, and Adderweed falls to the ground, boneless in a way that only a doll can be.
So full of bones.
Boneless.
Oh, okay.
Collapsed.
Like ball joints and wooden and
yeah,
whatnot.
just collapsed. Yeah. And the 3 splatter beasts that are remaining look, and an eerie howl comes out of them.
I match it.
And all parts of the paint drop down and they rush towards Adderweed, coating and covering the doll. You are out of initiative.
Will this have Will this have invoked an opportunity attack? Because one did hit me.
One did hit you. One wasn't close, so yes, you could. I just want to note that it's become paint on the floor. So you can attack it, just note what you're attacking.
I just wasn't sure, like, if it became on the floor before it went away, I wasn't sure if it, like, hit it before it, like, painted or if that. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, basically what they did is, upon Adderweed's, like, collapse and whatnot, they all kind of just splushed down as if, like, imagine paint, like, just splattering down. And then the paint just kind of moved to Adderweed's body.
Okay, then
Swift
that probably
is gonna-
won't evoke anything. Sorry, guys.
No problem. Swift is going to grab her longbow of warning and place it back on her person.
Akari's going to grab his staff as well.
Alright. On that, the tent itself seems to fade away. Not fade, the parts of the fabric are still there. But the lights that were flickering and whatnot go dark. The audience that's there seems to awaken out of the dream that they were experiencing together, and you now have a mass group who are kind of freaking out a little about what this is.
I'm
This
going
large
to
enclosed tent.
I'm going to cast daylight to light up the area.
Okay.
I think it's like technically a 60-foot bright and 30-foot dim. I can look that up. But then I'm going to announce, thank you for enjoying the show in the tent this evening. We hope you enjoyed. And try to play it off like it was part of the whole shebang.
Performance or Decept? You may roll one.
They're both +0.
Ooh.
Oh.
Can I assist with this? Like doing like, yes.
Yeah, if you're gonna be like, yeah, see what's going on here, absolutely can roll an assist.
I do so.
Huzzah! What'd you get?
I got double nat ones.
I'm like,
Legit.
quick, Akari, help me out.
If that had been double net 20s, I would have never thought anybody would believe me. But why would I lie about double net failures?
Oh no! Oh no! So even with the assistance of Iclare going, like, yeah, the crowd just looks at you and looks at all of you and looks at the painted corpse at your feet and just kind of freak out. Some scream, some faint, and some go rushing out of the tent, falling over.
She's just gonna mutter to herself, I hate the city. I want to go to the forest so bad.
God.
Using thaumaturgy. Please be safe. Please exit the tent in a very calm fashion. Please do not trample one another. There has already been enough manglage this evening. Please do not contribute to any more further accidental violence. Please be. No, there. Okay, this is fine.
The lights of the airplane will lead to your exits on the left-hand side and at the front of it. Anyways.
I'm like, oh, I could have told them it was all part of the show. I had a song and everything, and it would have been awesome. Wow.
While
so
this is
sorry,
happening,
I thought I'd learned enough from you.
What's
While the-
happening?
while this is happening, Akari does not give two flying fucks. Sorry about
I'm
the
one of
audience.
those.
He is good for you. He goes over to the corpse, or maybe not a corpse, or whatever it is, to see what's going on.
So you're looking at Adderweed.
Yes.
Okay. Checking on that kind of thing. And so Adderweed at the ground there with the paint that is around what you know the painted ladies, or what also is referred to as Splatter Beast, for those of you that are in the Fairy Fire stuff, just kind of is surrounded in a pool. And that is all, though. It's like you can hear small whimpering sounds from it, but that's about it. It just seems like mourning Although if you try and detect, something here did not die. Adderweed wasn't really living. There was no death. But they are not moving anymore.
Another Eyes of the Grave.
The 3 spirits are still waiting. Although now that you're on the ground, you can see them so much closer. You get an idea of what they are. You see 3 different beings with it. No longer as a detective, you can actually see them. One is a red cap, much like the ones that you've seen backstage of this already. That's carrying a large sickle, and it's the one that is at the entrance. It's in the ring, but towards the entrance of the performer's gate into the ring. Another creature is a Bachet. That's the one sitting that people come in, and it's watching the entrance in, whereas Redcap was watching the ring. And the third, at the edge where the ringmaster's location, or the ringmaster's quarters of it are, is just a simple fey creature that looks human, very tall, slightly sharp ears, but is not an elf. Well, the ghost of one.
And that's the one that I noticed that I was looking for.
Yes. That is the one that
Okay.
you were
Then while this is happening, not to like make it about me, I can just go over there and do whatever. Like Akari, think if he's sure that this is handled, and if it's not, he'll come back. But he's going over towards that one while they're corralling the crowd and stuff.
As you get closer to that one, you realize this isn't a spirit that is there. This is a being somewhere between life and death. It's not undead, but it is held there. Something is keeping it tied to the cirque, to the realm. You're not quite sure. But you know as you get closer, this is not a spirit, this is not a ghost.
Is it
This is
Ron?
actually... It is not Ron.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I don't know if you can see the spirits or whatnot, but this is not Ron. At least as far as Akari would understand Ron to be, this is not Ron. This is not a ringmaster. This is someone that seemed not connected to the cirque, except by the undeath.
He just goes over and stares at him. His eyes are still blacked out, and he says, "Speak your purpose. The master wishes you back to where you came."
I was to guard a gate. Beyond me is the entrance, the exit, the truth, and the lie. Should I rest? It will be sealed and unsealed. It will begin and it will end. I need sleep, though. And it's done.
He watches and he kind of nods his head. You are not under the command of anyone else but the Reaper. You must go. And with that, I'm casting Guiding Bolt at 3rd level.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you to roll to hit or anything. It's not trying to not be, and it was here and away it goes.
Fair,
so
but he's still making sure it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, no. For the rest of you, you see Akari is just talking to something facing where the ringmaster's gate into the ring is, casting a guiding bolt that slams against something in front of him, and then dissipates away.
Did you
And
get
then
it?
Standing there briefly, for a brief shining moment, is an androgynous fae that looks elvish and tall, and it's gone.
I did what I had to do. Whatever
That
happens
was-
from here is what it is.
And that was your business at the carnival?
For now, yes.
You want some popcorn? Because I really want some popcorn.
Then get some popcorn.
But I was asking you if you wanted some popcorn. I was trying to be kind.
I would like to leave the carnival
No.
if we are done.
But popcorn. Oh crap! Ron! Where's Ron?
Where do you go?
I head for the ringmaster's quarters. Just fly right by Akari.
You go in, and asleep, back in the ringmaster's quarters, in a chair slumped over with dust covering him, though, is Ron.
I'm really perceptive, so I think I would have noticed the dust. But if I had been less perceptive and I didn't notice the dust, I would have been like, "Fuck, fuck him! He's all done, whatever," and I would leave. But I see the dust, and I call for friends to help.
Help! Help! Ron's covered in dust!
I mean, making noise in the back there. Ron wakes up, though. It's just kind of the groggy wake up of, like, and the movement just, like, moves dust off of him and whatnot. Oh, what? Karak?
Yeah, it's me.
What are you doing here?
You're covered in dust. I'm like a feather duster. It's been a while, and I saw you. You still look nice.
Glad to hear it. Who are the rest of you?
Oh, these are my friends. I made them since I left here when we broke up, and it was awkward. Why did I?
Yes.
This is
yes.
Clare and Swift, and this is Akari. I'm with him now.
Don't touch me.
I'm sorry, I won't do that anymore. It was awkward for me too. No, it wasn't.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you. And he very carefully, very slowly stands in the chair, and there's a creaking noise. Thank you very much.
Do you know who Adderweed is?
What
Was.
Was. Very right.
A new. Wait. Let me check my notes.
Where do you think the carnival is?
We should be in winter. We should be wintering right now. We should be somewhere that we're setting in a warm plains. People should be checking their rides and the games and making sure things work. We shouldn't really be anywhere.
Parfait.
You are just outside of Baldur's Gate.
That's not even in our usual route. That's an infrequent route, in fact. Oh my. And you said Adderweed. Adderweed. Let me check notes. That name is familiar. He rummage around. He brings up a book, and it's like a mess in here of like dust and paper scattered and such. And he brings out a book, and it's like, hired a new acrobat. Adderweed. We hired them some time, not that long ago, actually.
I would suggest you work on your employee vetting process.
Yes, seems I must.
When
Is
was
that
the
who
last?
caused this?
When was the last date in your ledger?
He gives a date from 2 months ago.
Duffy.
That was a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah, we should.
You must be hungry. Popcorn?
What?
I would say before we feast, I suggest Adderwood was similar in look to the fortune teller.
Like a doll.
Yes.
Marionette.
The fortune teller doesn't look like a doll.
The only time I have come across them, they did.
She does now.
We should go see her. And he heads out and heads to not the location you know the fortune teller, but actually if the midway. So coming out of the tent, the midway would have been to your left now because it was to the right going into the tent. And he goes slightly to the right and he just stops and it's like, she should have been right outside the door. She was one of our best callers sometimes and guides.
She's down the lane now.
I think those gifts are what caused her to be punished.
Who moved her down the lane? And he heads to the fortune teller's tent, as you all know and recognize for this thing, and swings the curtains open and walks in, and there she still sits at the table, hands stapled together. But in this case, she's sitting, eyes closed, hands stapled together, like a fortune teller that you'd put a coin into in old Midway parks and what have you, as you see. And now you can see the strings that are actually around her as she stands, or she sits in front of her crystal ball.
This is awkward. This isn't what it was like before.
With the other wheat gone, it seems as if her purpose is no longer needed.
Oh.
I fish out a coin,
Okay.
try to feed it to her.
You can't feed it to her. If you're looking around, though, you do spot a place that you can put it, a little table that was not there when you were in there before.
This is
Little
new.
tray. Little tray that you can click it into. The fortune teller sits up. The hands drop and move to around the crystal ball as it looks like she's trying to cushion it almost with her hands around it. And she looks. Welcome to the Cirque Arcana. What is your question?
Hey, Claire, hey, quick.
I send message.
I don't know what to ask.
What has happened to the person you are based off of?
Who do you mean? I am myself.
Karak, what the manner of being was
She was a
The-
creaky old lady.
a creaky old human lady?
You know, you all kind of look alike to me.
We all look alike.
Yeah, I mean, you all have like fleshy stuff, and none of you have bright, colorful feathers or interesting beaks. So
I am
you all
literally
look the
made
same,
of stone.
except for Akari. Akari.
You know many fur-covered humans with pointy ears on top that twitch to the noise of the dragons.
Twitch, twitch.
Whose legs bend the opposite direction.
Oh, like
this is
didgeridoo?
well,
Yeah. No, I don't.
Do you want to roll
Didgeridoo,
a
don't you
history?
can't tell the difference?
Sure. I'll roll history.
Let's see if they really do all look alike to you.
11.
Yeah, okay, a fair number of them do, but you do recall that at least in the past she was human-esque. Okay, maybe she had slightly pointed ears. Maybe a half-elf, maybe human, somewhere in between. Wait, is there an
Like a really
in-between?
tall
And you just kind of
gnome.
go off, yes. And suddenly you go off thinking about all the other stuff.
What happened? So you are the same being, but you are in a different form? It says that to the fortune teller.
Oh yeah, no, the fortune teller just kind of like thinks looks like, well, the face doesn't really change. Like it's just flat, dull face now.
I put another coin in.
Okay. And again, the same thing happens. It's welcome to the Cirque Arcana. What is your question? And Ron just kind of like, Ron looks aghast at this. Like, it's her. It looks like her, but it's not.
How do we return you to your living form and not this doll shit?
Just kind of. This is my form. I am the Cirque Arcana's fortune teller.
Insight check to see if she's saying this on her own accord, or is this something almost like
insight.
giving
Recorded
her
message.
I would aid in that.
Absolutely, you can.
I try to press 2 to speak in Elven.
Alas, there is no keypad. What'd you get for your insights?
17.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled really low on both.
17 is still pretty decent. And what was the assist?
Oh, I have a nat 20 on insight. I have a 26.
All right. Press 0 to speak to a real person. This... What you're seeing in front of you is absolutely now a fortune-telling machine. Machine. There does not appear to be what was... There's no spark of life deep inside. So while there might be magic making it speak, it may as well be answering through your questions as query not understood. This is no longer the fortune teller you met, and this is certainly not the Rock and Ron know.
I think this pathway is closed to us.
It seems this way. I'm going to try to remember if there's any plants. Are there any? Actually, I'm going to look around. Are there any plants in the tent?
There is one well-tended little batch of like fern and flower.
I am going to cast Speak with Plants and ask that what the heck happened upon her.
The plant just kind of stops, and the plant responds to you. I'm trying to think how vocal plant gets to be.
I think it's like a surfer dude who's high.
What are you guys' images in your mind actually of this half-elf older woman that used to take loving care of it and watered it regularly, and then time just kind of stopped around it, and you get this string started coming, and just this envision of strings covering over what it could see, and then when it cleared again, you had the lady, but now she had strings all over her. And away it went, and then now, in the last few minutes, the strings seem to be cut away, and the skin that you could see before, and this is what the plant is showing you, the skin that was exposed hardened, and you can see that from the plant view as well. The chair is now fused to the form you see, to the table, to everything.
I will relay that to the group. So I believe she is still in there. It is maybe a shell or a transmutation. But the plant here remembers that a bunch of strings came down and obscured its vision, but that remembers her turning into the thing we see before us.
At the same time as she's talking to a plant, which he does not phase Akari whatsoever.
Oh yeah, you would know about that.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. He turns around and you see him bring like this almost cracked bone horn that looks like it was probably made of like a ram, and he puts it to his lips and blows. And you hear this and in a minute or so, most recent humanoid is going to be called for at approaching in this area.
Sorry, you kind of selected the card. I'm just gonna make sure. A ghost wraith humanoid you're looking for in this area to come forth to here.
Yes. I basically want to see what has died the most recently, and if they know what's happened in this circle.
Okay. The most recent death has happened that you're calling. Comes actually out of the crystal ball. And the fortune teller is there before you instead. And she's kind of, oh, I knew you'd be wonderful to have around.
I go to give her a hug.
You go through her.
Yeah.
It is you that sent the invitations to all of us?
I did what I could.
I think you did well.
I apologize for it all, but I did what I could.
What's happening?
The Cirque probably, well, and additionally looks around, I don't know that I can survive much further due to the magic that was spun around it. It will do its best. But Adderweed was harvesting.
For what purpose?
What was she harvesting?
Energy, souls, it's the purpose to call forth. I'm sure you've seen imps, demon, devilish ones.
I saw heard whispers earlier, but I didn't know from what.
Let us kill them all.
No, leave. This is really their grounds, and no longer ours. Very
Nothing
few of
is
the old
there.
performers.
Nothing is their ground. It all belongs to the Lord of Bones.
Oh,
You're always so optimistic, Akari.
you may be more right than you know. Take Ron and try to leave. But if you cannot, my deepest apologies, but know that you have saved a lot more. And likely Baldur's Gate itself. At least a fair number of them.
We need to take Ron away if we want to survive.
Thank you for the work. Thank you for the work you have done here. We will take Ron with us. You have done great good as yourself. Thank you.
I know it would be coming back, but
I'm gonna take the crystal ball with me.
I just bit you right here in my bag.
Is she tied to the crystal ball?
she is not. No, she is not, as far as you can tell. But when Karak does that, she's just like, "It is enough of me in there."
I'll
May it
give you
guide
to your
you.
daughter.
Good thing she got out before this.
Hmm.
May it guide you. May it guide her.
Well, I'm glad we stopped the show. We really brought the house down.
More than you probably know.
Cool. All right, popcorn and go, right?
I think the popcorn is at least 2 months old.
It's probably still good. Popcorn.
Fair point.
You can grab what you want on the way out.
You see him go over to Karak and just flick her head, casting Death Ward just in case this thing kills her.
Oh, thank you. I care about you too, Akari.
Good for you.
I know it's hard sometimes. Caring for you, that is. Let's get out of here.
So as we approach, I take it we're taking our leave. We're going to.
It sounds like you're all going to take your leave of the Cirque Arcana. Yes.
As we approach the entrance pavilion gate, going to just maybe a weird feeling. What's like beyond the gate? Like what you said it was a path that led here from
a path that led here
from the Basilisk Gate.
From the Basilisk Gate.
And can we see any portion of the city like that direction? Is it?
Roll a perception check.
Ooh, I don't like it.
Can I assist?
You can absolutely assist.
You want me to roll, or do you want advantage?
I will take advantage. That's much better. Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness. Perception. That is a 22.
As you look through the gate that led you here, the gatekeeper that was once created as Phil is not there, and you see the mask is slipped down. And it's just a large maw that is there. And they smile as they gesture you to leave and exit out over the plains of Avernus. And they smile and go, "Though you stopped the one, you saved a few. The Cirque does have a new home."
I have not had a good time. I would like recompense. Hello? Is this thing on?
Oh, but you see, though a good time was guaranteed, we did not promise, but for whom?
I don't think
Always
anybody
read
had a
the
good
small
time.
Good
print.
night. And have a good time. Enjoy your stay at the Cirque Arcana or the Avernus Plain. I'm sure we'll be seeing you shortly. Maybe stay on as a performer. After all, you already were part of the show. All right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Hope everyone else had as much fun as I did playing them around through the plains. What have you. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. This was the first of the 12 epic one-shots featuring Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, and yes, I'm going to show my copy off because I'm so happy with it. I love getting to play around on those. It's so shiny. That's because I keep, I'm so weird with my books. I don't want to, get them dirty or anything. But outside of that, thanks again to Will Crossweight for our intro musical. Find him on Twitter at Crossweight Music, and please check out our sponsors, World Anvil and Die Hard Dice. Don't forget, there is the hashtag for the Crowley, for Crochet Crowley, but we do not have these. We're going to actually roll pretty soon here and announce the winners. So, but keep up. Go check out Die Hard Dice otherwise. I have been CJ. I am Crazy J. You can find me on Twitter at Crazy J. It is ZEE, not ZY. You can find me on Scribe Kids Academy. I stream pretty early on Sunday mornings. If you want more of me in D&D, I play in that one. I actually play a warlock. Or I'm around here somewhere, as I said, to quote Elle Woods. You can if you poke Logan a lot, maybe he'll bring me on Nerdsmith more. I don't know. So I'm most passionate about the game I am working on. I'm working on a mobile game, and I work for a mobile game company. So cool. And I'm passionate about dice. I love dice. I always want to see dice pictures and everything. Players, let's go reverse order this time. So we're going to start with who was playing our lovely Akari, which I loved so much. I loved all your characters. They were great.
Hello, Critical Bard here, also known as CB, Critical Bard across all social media channels. This was awesome. This was amazing. I'm definitely gonna play Akari in another iteration somehow, some way. Yeah, you can find me all sorts of places. Like I said, role players. I am over there a lot. I tend to do random pickup games. I'm a vocalist, actor, performer. You can see some of my work very soon in ways I'm still shocked. Wink. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, just excited to have been here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
The ever lovely Karak was played by.
Oh, that's me. I was Karak. I'm Kyle. I'm Tavern Tales DM on Twitter. Tomorrow night, you can find me on the Onyx Paths Twitch stream channel with a couple of people that are in chat right now. We are playing Aberrant 2.0. And on Friday this week, you can find me on Unmade Gaming, where I'm going to be running Morty's Devils. It's a 10-part miniseries, season 2. This week, we are doing an episode of Twin Peaks, because every week we turn an episode of a TV show into a one-shot Dungeons and Dragons game called Morty's Devils, riffing on Charlie's Angels, where Mordenkainen hires a bunch of tieflings out to go and restore balance in the universe. So, in the multiverse. So hopefully you'll check it out there, and you can find out more about me at my Twitch Twitter handle down below, right here, I think, or something like that, or up there. Either way, thank you so much as well, CJ, for an amazing and fun, wonderful time.
Thank you so much. Clare, I'm sorry.
Eclare. It's fine.
Eclare.
I can't even pronounce it. I'm Kyle. Once again, I'm one of the folks over at Nerdsmith. You can find me here on Tuesday nights most weeks for either Shenanigans or the sister campaign, A Taste of Paradise, run by Logan and Tessa, respectively. Out of the same house, no less. They're great. I'm also doing a bunch of stuff. I can't remember all the stuff that I do, but it's a lot of fun. You can find me at X Grimsby on Twitter and on our Nerdsmith Discord as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a lot of fun.
And who started us all off and who gets to end it all out? Swift Shadow was played by the lovely.
Hello, I am Dark Aardvark, also known as Natalie. You can catch me on Tuesdays where I GM my own Spelljammer D&D 5e campaign, Starry Seas. There's a lot of competition on Tuesday nights from what I've heard, and if I don't win, I understand. But you can also catch me playing in Once Upon a Leap on Wednesdays at Milady Saito's channel. Best place to find all that stuff is on Dark Aardvark. On my Twitter at dark_Aardvark. The Twitch channel is the same. Please give me a follow. Yeah, it's always fantastic to play on We Are Nerdsmith. I was tonight was particularly difficult to remember that I was playing and not just sit back and enjoy, because my goodness, 3 more entertaining players and a fantastic GM. I could hard pressed I would not be able to find. So thank you all. It was amazing.
That was 4 amazing players. 4. Put that out there. That was great. Thank you so much for the 4 of you for signing up for Good Omens. I wasn't sure how it would go, but I'm so glad everyone had a good time. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. This was a great time, and it was really hard to not want to watch chat while I'm supposed to be doing this, because you all were so energetic to read. I love that stuff. I might have to see about that Lisa Frank. Let's Draco. I may have to make that. It's coming. Get me an artist, and I will design you a rainbow Technicolor Dracolich. Thank you for being here. So, if you did like this, good times. There is Tune In on Thursday. We are going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific. The next session of 9 Hells of a Good Time. That is Aggressive Negotiations, run by none other than Heath of Dire Bear Adventuring Company. Oh, it's gonna be good. Thank you, Nerdsmith, for bringing us all together. As I said, 12 DMs, 48 players. Holy cow, for the month of October, you are in for a good time. This is gonna be such great fun. Everyone say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.